Hey there, welcome to Microdose U. I am Dr. Dave. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I've got a really special episode. We're going to answer a bunch of your questions in just a couple seconds, but before that, I got to just tell you a quick story. It's my mom's 92nd birthday today. Wish her a happy birthday. 92 years old. She's back in Maryland. I am in Japan, and a few days ago, I was on the phone with her, and she said, "Dave, are you okay without that stuff? Without that stuff you're taking?" And I said, "Mom, what do you mean? What kind of stuff do you mean?" She said, "Those drugs you take. You can't bring those to Japan. Are you okay? I'm worried about you." And I'm thinking, people have this misconception. These are not drugs that I'm taking, and no, they're not addictive, and I don't have to take them. And actually, I'm doing quite well because I'm doing some breathing exercises. I'm doing some natural things. I'm totally fine. But there's a terrible misconception out here that people become addicted and all kinds of crazy things. It would be better if somebody said, "Hey, Dave, what are you okay? You're not able to bring your blood pressure medicine, or you're not able to bring your SSRI," which is not really true. You can bring that stuff in, but why doesn't anybody question anybody about that? It's all about people are worried. People don't understand exactly what psilocybin is. It's a very, very simple plant medicine that is extremely safe, and it rewires your brain. It's a lot safer to not use that for a little while than not to use an SSRI. If you don't use an SSRI, you're gonna be in bad shape. If you don't take your blood pressure medicine, you're gonna be in really bad shape. But no, this plant medicine is not only safe, but you don't need to do it all the time. You don't need to do it every day. So, Mom, this is to you if you're watching or listening. I am totally fine. Look at me. Look at me. I'm totally fine. And also, I'm wearing my hat because since I have this green screen behind me, it makes my hair look very, very weird. So I'm making an exception. She also told me I shouldn't wear a hat because it's very unprofessional when I do these videos. So, but I'm making an exception today. I'm wearing this today, Mom. So anyway, happy birthday. And I'm totally fine without using the stuff or the drugs. I'm totally fine. Let's get into some of your microdosing questions while we're having such a good time here. And remember, if you send me emails, if you comment on YouTube, I will do everything I can to answer your personal microdosing questions, or maybe any question you have for me that everybody would be interested in. Sure, why not? Let's go. Number one, first question from Mindful Matt. What's the number one thing you recommend doing alongside of microdosing if you can only do one thing? That's a really good question. There are a lot of things we could do alongside microdosing that really, really help. Help the journey, help your success, the success possibilities. But if I had to give one thing that I really love, I've got it right here. I've got my journal. I carry my journal wherever I go. I carry my pen with my journal, and I just write things down every single day. And you might say, "Well, Dr. Dave, what do you write? What can you write in your journal that would help with your microdosing?" Well, any thoughts you have. You can keep track of, how you dosed, how many, how much you dosed, how many milligrams or grams, how you felt, what time of the day, what improvements you're seeing, maybe some goals that you want to reach. It's endless. And again, my journaling has been just an incredible asset to my microdosing journey. I've been journaling even way before microdosing. It's just journaling is just getting something down on paper, pen and ink with a really nice pen really, really does help. And by the way, I told you I started this little, I don't know if you call it like a shop or whatever it is on Amazon. I list a lot of the products that I use every single day, all of my supplements that I take, the special pillow that I use to get for better sleep, and also this exact journal, the exact journal that I use every single day. It's all on Amazon. And the link is always in the show notes. So just go to the show notes or my website and you'll get to my Amazon. I'm going to call it my Amazon store, although I don't really know if it's a store. They do give me a tiny, tiny commission. I mean, I'm talking about pennies. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to make it more convenient for you if there's something that I use that I think can help you. So go on there, find the journal, take a look at the supplements I use, and it's just a big help. So really good question. That would be my number one choice of things to go alongside of microdosing. It would be journaling every single day. Next question from Sarah J. What has microdosing taught you about trust in yourself, in others, and in life itself? That's also a really good question. They've taught me to trust the journey I'm on, trust the direction, not only the mushrooms are taking me, but the way my life goes. Trust it. Trust that things are always going to work out. I honestly believe that. And what about trusting myself and trusting others? Trusting others, I've learned to connect with people better because of my microdosing journey. I've also learned to disconnect when there are people that I feel they're just not vibrating on the same wavelength. They're just not. I just don't feel the love. It's not really love per se, but I just don't feel the energy or the positive energy. I don't need to associate with them, whether it's online, whether it's in real life. I've learned to only associate with people that bring some type of positive energy to my life. And if I'm feeling negativity or bad things from other people, I don't wish them any harm whatsoever. Everybody's on their own path, but that doesn't mean that I have to be on their path. It doesn't mean I have to associate with them. So mushrooms have guided me along, and they've pointed me in the right direction for so many things. And yes, I do trust the mushrooms. I trust the direction that they're taking me in, and I hope that answers your question there, Sarah J. From Raymond Rodriguez on YouTube, he asked me, hey, where do I get the stuff? I'm in New York. Well, Raymond, I'll answer your question in a second, but first of all, this is not stuff. Kind of like what my mom said. I can't remember the exact words she used, but this is actually sacred, valuable plant medicine. It's sacred. We have to respect it. It's not stuff. It's not like some drug you take at a party. It's nothing like that. It's sacred medicine that has been used for millennia to help people make their lives better in many, many, many ways. So let's respect this medicine, and let's please call it medicine. Let's not call it stuff. Let's not call it drugs. I don't even call them shrooms, because to me shrooms have just a negative party connotation. That's not what I use them for at all. But Raymond, to answer your question, we don't talk about it here on this public forum, only because there are some trusted sources that I really believe in that are very, very, very good, that we have learned to love and trust over several years now. But I want to keep them safe for sure. I want to keep our show safe. And I promised YouTube that we don't discuss that. As a matter of fact, you heard the news from last week that YouTube pulled my show. Maybe I didn't tell you that yet. It might have been in between last episode. This is a crazy story, guys. But I got back to my room a few days ago, and I got this message from YouTube. I tried to access the channel, and YouTube said they deleted my entire show. And talking about having your heart sink. I mean, everything I've worked for over the past several years, and 10,000 subscribers later, 10,000, they deleted my show from YouTube. Now, they did give me a chance to explain myself, because they said it went against the guidelines of YouTube, talking about drugs, selling drugs. But I assure them that we don't do that. We don't really talk about drugs. We talk about mental health for adults and how to feel better every single day of your life. We're not doing anything illegal on this show. And also, I don't discuss where to buy this medicine. And that's keeping the show above board. I don't talk about it here, and you can see clearly the reason. However, I will tell you this: about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I started a Patreon channel on the Patreon platform, and on that platform, and some other things that go along with that, which I won't really discuss here until you join Patreon, but we are able to share that information with you, and it's very easy to share. But it's a paid platform, so it becomes, so it's not a totally public platform. You kind of have to pay to get in there, and it's very, very extremely inexpensive. However, I want to make sure this Patreon family is a family of people that we feel comfortable with, non-judgmental. If you have questions, we all help answer, not just me, but everybody else in our Patreon family. It's like the kindest group of people that I've ever associated with in my life. And when I first started, I just didn't know. I didn't know it would turn out to be like this. When I first started, it was really difficult. It was hard to get people to join, hard to get people to stay. Now, people join and they stay forever. Because we do live meetings every week to 2 weeks, live meetings. We have a chat going on 24/7. If you ever need to know an answer to a question, you put it up on our chat, in our chat room there, and you're going to get answered really quickly, because we do have people from mainly from the US, but some people from all over the world. You're going to get answered pretty quickly, let's say. And it's always going, it's always on. And as I said, it's the best group of people I've ever associated with in my life. I invite you, Raymond, to join us there on Patreon. It's always, the link is always in the show notes here, and it's always on my website, microdoseu.com. Show notes and website. You can't miss it. You're going to find it. But what I want to say is, Raymond, and to anybody else that's interested in our Patreon platform, our Patreon family, we are not looking for people just to come in and grab the information, find out where to get your stuff, and skedoodle out of there. We're not looking for that at all. We're looking for a permanent family, people that stay with us month after month after month, and just, we all help each other out. And that's what really our Patreon is all about. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and share right now, if I can get to it, some brand new members that just signed up over the past few days. And this is all, we're always getting new members, and the family is growing and growing, and that's a good thing. Although I promise I will never let it get too big that it gets out of control. I would start a waiting list before I let it get too big, so you don't have to worry about that. But we've got, let's see, I want to say thank you and welcome to the big guy, Brad, Rodrigo, MVC, Jay, Steven, Sam, Ruben, Ann, Pushu, Mitch, Jamie, Paul, Chatty, Carl, Braden. And if I didn't get to your name, I apologize. I promise I'll get to you next time. That's how fast this family is growing. It's incredible. I invite you to come join us as a family member. I promise you, you will really be happy there. I've had people that say, I didn't know whether I wanted to join Patreon. I hesitated, but once I joined, yes, I see what it's all about. And it's like the best family ever. I will say that. Let's get back to the questions now. So Raymond, that's the answer to your question. Join us on Patreon and we can certainly help you with that. From Kelsey P, why do you think some people still carry fear around microdosing even after hearing so many stories of healing and growth? Many reasons. Just because, like, even what my mom said earlier, so many people think it's like a drug, a dangerous drug, an addictive drug. Back in the war on drugs in the 70s and 80s, I guess. I guess it started then. People looked at this as a very dangerous drug, that it's either gonna kill you, you're gonna become an addict, you're gonna end up in mental hospitals. That stuff is just not true. It's actually one of the safest medicines out there, but it's gonna probably take a while. And now it's getting a lot of positive publicity these days because of the microdosing and because of the mental health aspects, the healing aspects, for so many things. So it's going to take a little while, but yeah, right now it's who's that? Kelsey. Yeah, there's still some fear of the unknown, fear of it being a dangerous drug. But I will tell you, especially at microdosing levels, there is nothing whatsoever to be concerned about. You go about your day like usual, it's fine, and you start feeling better, like you wouldn't believe. Healing Journey 83. I'm going to be starting my microdose journey in about 2 weeks. I'm on SSRIs. Is it safe, and do I need to stop the SSRIs beforehand? It's safe, especially at the microdosing level. And This is not medical advice, and you're going to see this on the next question. The next question is related. It's very interesting how these two came together. But yes, you do. I mean, you do not quit your SSRIs. Eventually, when the microdosing starts to really work and kick in, then you can wean off of the SSRIs with your doctor's approval. I always recommend sharing this information with your doctor. And if you're afraid to share with your doctor, ask yourself why. Why are you afraid to tell your doctor what you're doing for your health? You shouldn't be afraid. You should tell your doctor everything that's going on. Don't be afraid. I've told my doctor everything. But the next question, this is interesting how they come together, from Chris in Colorado. You said you don't give medical advice, but then you told somebody to stay on, this is from a video I did like a while back, but then you told somebody to stay on their SSRIs while microdosing. What's up with that? Well, if you think about it, you're right. I don't give medical advice. That's why I told them, it's exactly why I told them not to get off their SSRIs, because who am I to tell somebody you need to get off of your SSRIs? I always say, clear that with your doctor, but do it once you're on your microdosing journey. Definitely don't get off of them beforehand. But yeah, so by saying not to get off of them, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm saying continue with what your doctor has prescribed and don't change anything. So that's not really medical advice. But you can turn things around, twist them around, and whatever. But anyway, no, I make it very clear here. I don't give medical advice, but it is important to stay on them. Don't quit them as you're starting your microdosing journey. Don't do that. From YouTube, from Vanilla Gorilla, I bought a pack of 10 25 milligram capsules and I'd like to trip. How many of those do I need if I want to go deep? Well, Vanilla, 25 milligram capsules are a very, very tiny microdose. So the first thing that comes to my mind is, are you sure they're 25 milligrams? Are you sure they're not 250? Or that might be 0.25. So check your packaging, check with your source, and make sure they're not 0.25 or 250 milligrams, which is the same. 0.25 grams and 250 milligrams are the same. Now, if they are truly 25 milligram capsules, no, you can't. It won't work because you need like 100 of them, at least 100. So you're not going to be popping 100 capsules. That's not going to work. Now, if they're 0.25 or 250 milligrams, then what do you need? You need 10 of them to reach 2.5 grams, which is kind of a low-level trip, I would say, low level. It would be a beginner's. So you could, if they are truly 250 or 0.25, you could do it on 10 of those capsules. But it's easier, especially if you join us over on Patreon. You'll find better ways and better sources and better ways to if you want to take a deeper trip than to pop a whole bunch of capsules. That's a little bit. That's not really efficient, let's say. Hope that helps you, Vanilla. So hopefully we'll see you over on Patreon, and we can definitely help you with that there, 100%. From Dan on YouTube, I took 7 grams out in the woods, and for 1 hour, I actually became a tree with roots. And there's no question attached to that. I just think Dan just wanted to share that, and that's cool. I mean, I hope it was a great experience, Dan. Share with us, if you don't mind, and I'll put it on the next episode if you get back to me right away, but share with us what that was like. Was it scary? Did you learn from it? Did it change you in any way? What did you get out of that? We'd love to know. Other than the fact that you became a tree with roots for an hour, share with us what else happened. We'd love to hear back from you, Dan. Oh, Jason, what's the biggest misconception people have about microdosing that you wish you could clear up once and for all? Well, so I talked back when I did the question on somebody was asking why people carry fear. I already talked about that as far as misconception is that it's dangerous, that psilocybin is dangerous, that it's addictive. But let's go in a different direction now for this one. What's the biggest misconception people have about microdosing? I've seen a lot of people say that microdosing doesn't work, and you've got to take large doses for it to really work, for it to really rewire your brain and help you with through the mental health issues and everything else you're trying to take care of. That's a misconception. That is absolutely not true. I mean, I know this is anecdotal, but I'm living proof of that. But not only me, but so many other people that follow me, so many other people that have written in, so many other people that we coach. And by the way, we do offer one-on-one coaching. If you want one-on-one help, you're new, you're brand new to this, or you've been doing it for a while, but you just need help tweaking things. You need help getting started or getting things going properly. We do offer one-on-one coaching, and we've had tremendous success with that. And again, show notes and my website, microdoseu.com, you'll find it. We offer anything from one session to a 10-week structured program, which has been wonderful. Great success. So yeah, I would say the biggest misconception is that microdosing doesn't work, and I'm here to tell you that it does. And again, I've got testimonials every single day from our Patreon family in the chat that we have going all the time. I mean, there are people that said that microdosing has absolutely changed their lives. So it's not just me, but it's so many. Again, I've got 10,000 followers here on YouTube, and on the audio side of this, Apple and Spotify and whatever else we have. We've got a bunch of people that follow us. So it's not just me saying this, but it's a lot of people that follow us and are doing microdosing, and they're getting great results. Now, some people it doesn't work right away. Some people have a tough time tweaking it or titrating it, and that's when sometimes the one-on-one coaching and consultations come in handy, because we can really help dial it in. And really, everybody is different. So I want to share one more thing before we get out of here. It's getting back to when they took my YouTube channel down last week. It was the scariest thing ever. But one thing I did, and maybe this will help you if you're going through anything tough, and that was a really tough thing for me. So what I did was, after my heart sunk and after I thought I lost 4 years worth of work, I took a little break and went into this, it's called an onsen. It's a Japanese hot spring, a hot bath, a hot tub. Hot bath, I'd say, is probably better terminology for it. And I went in there for like an hour. You can't bring a phone in there, so I didn't bring my phone anyway. You can't bring a camera or a phone, anything like that. So you're just in there, and I sat in there, and in not only the hot water was therapeutic, but I did some breathing exercises, really nice breathing exercises, and I started thinking very deeply, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? If they took away my YouTube channel, what's the absolute worst thing that can happen? Well, I had some options. I had some really, really good options. And that's another reason I'm so into this Patreon thing, because that's not going to go away. And the YouTube, if that went away, I wouldn't be able to communicate with 10,000 followers on there. I wouldn't be able to say, hey, we're gone. There's no way I can get in touch with you. So we'd be lost. But on the Patreon, I'd be able to communicate and say, hey, this is what we're doing now. So again, another reason not to really push the Patreon, but it's probably the coolest thing I've done since we started Microdose U. But that was a really tough thing. And then I did file the appeal, like I told you. But then they said after I filed the appeal, they said it would take at least 2 business days to get back to me to let me know if they're going to reinstate my channel, and they may not do it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I have to wait. There's no other choice. I got back from the onsen. I opened my phone up, and there was an email from YouTube and said, your channel has been reinstated. So how cool is that? It goes to show, be positive, realize that things are not as bad as they seem. Think about what the worst case scenario could possibly be, and things will happen for the better. And even if they, like I said, even if they took it away, I realized in that onsen when I was doing the breathing exercises, I would have been totally fine, because I already had come up with some other ideas. So that's that for today. We have a brand new show that comes out every single Wednesday. If you like what you're seeing or hearing, no matter what platform you're on, make sure you share, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you'll never miss anything. And until next time, I'll see you next week. Until next time, I want to tell you that I do love you, and I am Dr. Dave. This is Microdose U.